right, folks, here we are. We are back. Another episode of On The Delo. This is episode 217. Is that a lucky number for you, Laura?
It is now.
It is now?
Yes.
Excellent. And you drove all the way from Tempe?
Tempe, yes.
Yeah.
It was my second time going up the 101 today.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Had a meeting this morning,
Oh.
so I had to go north, to go south, to come north. It's okay.
You calculated that day right. That's good time management. I do that all the time.
You know,
I'll go to Gilbert and then Phoenix and back to Gilbert. I'm like, what am I doing?
But windshield time is some of your best thinking time.
That is true, yeah.
So let's go with that.
So, well, speaking of windshield time, like how much windshield time do you think you get on a day?
Not that much. I mean, enough. I probably get more airplane time.
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll dig into that in a minute. All right. Well, cool. So I'm excited to have you here. Before we get into it, everybody, Risky Business, my just mind-scorching liquor liability book has been released. And if anybody wants a copy and you're listening to the podcast, just 5-star the podcast and put in notes, I want your book, and I will mail it to you for free. How you like that as a bargain, right? So it's all about the Arizona liquor liability, let's just say, scene, and I have a lot of really fun, I shouldn't even say fun, it's horrible to think that, but I have some claim scenarios here, and I match it up with good old rock and roll tunes from the 80s.
And it's educational and entertaining at the same time.
Thank you. I gave you a copy. I think
I
gave
read
you one of the
copy.
first copies.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes. It's not autographed, though. Can we discuss?
We can take care of that. All right. Well, let's jump into you, and let's get into origin story. Where are you originally from?
Originally, I had my my birth in New Jersey.
Oh.
But I do not have a New Jersey accent.
No, you do not.
No.
So you left there relatively early? Or?
No, all my formative years were there.
Oh.
And then I went to college in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Where one of my roommates was really trying to give me her Philadelphia accent. My father would not allow that to happen. And then I lived in New York City right after college.
That's right.
And then I moved to Arizona.
So are you a East Coast or are you a West Coast?
In terms of...
How do you feel?
I love being on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I love visiting the East Coast.
Yeah.
But there are so many things about the West that are me.
That are you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yes.
Tell me about like your first, your first exposure to entrepreneurship. What did that look like?
Well, the first one didn't go so well, so we'll skip that because that was probably more of a midlife crisis. But my first exposure to entrepreneurship would have been when I finished culinary school as a career changer. Back in 2002, I graduated, and I started my first business, which was called Celebrated Cuisine, and it was private fine dining, culinary instruction, and TV. Did some TV.
Yeah.
And I finished school with the knowledge that I was not going to work for somebody else anymore. That ship had sailed, and I never really had that moment of, oh my God, should I be doing this? It just felt extremely natural and the right thing to do. So I rolled in. Now, add on 20 years later, when other things transpired and new businesses or new products, then I always had this moment of, okay, is this a good idea, right? So, because when you have the opportunity to start something without a lot of risk, it makes it easy.
Correct. Yeah.
But the longer you're in it, the riskier things get.
So really, just from the very get-go, you always had like an entrepreneur mindset. You're just like, I'm not going to be working for anybody.
Well, after I left my first career, yes.
Yeah.
Because I spent almost 15 years in tech and I was in sales. And while I had the opportunity toward the end of that career to be managing sales teams, I was still always working for the legitimate man. So, but I never thought twice about my choice to be the man.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I mean, tech is way different than cooking.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what's great, and I know many people say this, but everything I've done in my past has prepared me for what I'm doing in my present and will for my future. And I think about all of the training I had from the different companies I worked for, and that is what gave me my ability to do a presentation or have a sales call or qualify an opportunity or just, think about things from a different perspective. Yeah. And if I hadn't had those past experiences, I couldn't be in the ones I'm in now. No. So,
it's a great perspective. And I think it's something like anybody younger that's going through something right now, for them to listen to and understand that, hey, this may not be my end all be all, but what can I take from this and learn from it to get to my end all?
Exactly, because spoiler alert, whatever you're doing first is not going to be your end all and be all. It'll be the first of many, many things. And I think that's the excitement about life, right? We don't want it to be the same thing every day. Predictability does not create excitement. It's not fulfilling.
No, I worked for Warner Brother Records. I mean, I was on tour with multi-platinum artists when I was 19, 20, 21. Did I think I would be selling insurance? You know?
Mm-hmm. But
here we are.
And look at the people that are all part of your cohort, if you will, right? I mean, and what experiences were, I mean, obviously you could write a book about it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it should be your next book, as I said the last time I met you.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just a matter of us having that time because again, like you, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm always like trying to figure out other ways to operate and maximize the business efficiently, right? So,
yes.
I want to get into how because we had talked about this when you and I had coffee a while back, and I want the audience to kind of learn about what got you into, finding your way into the kitchen.
So finding my way into the kitchen started when I was little, right? Only because I was not allowed in the kitchen except to set the table or empty the dishwasher.
Right.
My mom liked things just so, which I totally have an appreciation for. But actually the first things I was able to do was bake. I would start making cookies, and I remember the very first time I changed the Toll House cookie recipe when I was making chocolate chip cookies. And I'm like, I'm going to use all brown sugar instead of, and they came out great. I'm like, oh, note to self, right? But never really thought about that. And then when I was in college, I remember I did my very first dinner party, had my friends over, left the paper towel on the lettuce in the bowl. That was good. I've made I made a quiche with a graham cracker crust. Not so good. That was in college. Then I went abroad for a year. I went to Paris, and my French mom was an amazing cook.
Really?
And she taught me so much, and it made me very excited. And I remember buying my first cookbook and pouring over it more heavily than I did my textbooks,
Yeah.
But it was just something that I really enjoyed. It was passion. And I was always working front of house in restaurants. So I just had that synergy. I loved hospitality. But when it's time to graduate college, you got to make some money.
Right.
And I didn't want to live at home anymore.
Right.
And so I picked a path that financed me. And so, but over the years, I mean, my way of relaxing after a long day at work was to be in the kitchen.
It's almost like meditation or therapy.
It's exactly
for you.
like 100%. And that has not changed
That's
over
cool.
2.5 decades.
Yeah.
It's still the same. And now what I love doing is when I'm in the kitchen, bringing people in with me, because after teaching for as long as I did, it's an energy that you pick up from people learning, people doing something for the first time, having the aha moment that you've imparted. Mm-hmm. You didn't necessarily create it, but you imparted. Yeah. And just to have that, you have better conversations when you're actively using your hands, whatnot. So cooking has been very central to my life. I might have a husband who said, it was the way to his heart.
Yeah,
maybe. But it's just, it is central. People talk about food. When they're eating food, they talk about their next meal. Then they're talking about where they're going on vacation and what they're going to eat when they get there and what experiences they'll have. So I'm so joyful that I can be part of that community.
So you just hit on something. I want to elaborate on it because I know you probably have that same energy source that I do. And obviously there was something that had from, the time that we had met on a Zoom that just, we're kind of like two beings in the same spectrum. And when you talk about being in your kitchen and allowing other people to touch the food and do the things, and then you obviously package it so well and carefully, and like I have to like a lot of times when people look at food and they go and they buy and they get food, I don't think sometimes they have that necessarily that source of appreciation of where it really came from and how it was made. And so tell me just kind of your mindset when you're in there with your people, making what you make.
I think what I want the most is for people to appreciate what's in front of them.
Yeah.
Right. And so some people are going to be interested in where it was sourced or, was it raised without this or what have you. But I have a couple friends who, when they sit down to eat, they eat so fast.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what? And I had an unwritten rule that was actually verbalized in my house with my kids were little. It's like, you may not eat this meal faster than it took me to make it, right? Because there's an appreciation around that. And I think when we slow down, we also, we pick up better nuance of what that dish is meant to be. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily about a bowl of cereal, but if someone prepares something for you, it's meant to be enjoyed and evaluated to some extent. In my case, a lot of things that I eat that someone else prepares, I'm reverse engineering. If I really like it, I'm like, okay, how can I make that? And then, of course, how can I make it better? But it's some of my best recipes or dishes that I make for my family and my friends came because I enjoyed them out of country or at another restaurant in another state. And I really want to eat that again. And so how can I do it for myself? So, really cool. The forensics is really good.
Yeah. So, that's really cool, though. I mean, I'm one of those fast eaters, and my wife always yells at me because literally I'm doing dishes while she's still eating, and it's so rude. And I know she'll probably listen to this and be like, yep. So I'm trying to get better. And what do you think it is? Where's the disconnect for somebody like myself and many others that just chomp away and eat so fast?
Probably a couple different possibilities. One, if you grew up in a large family, if you didn't eat fast, you didn't get your food, right? It was only so much on the table. I think some people are just minded that way, and also, people either eat because they enjoy it or because they want to fuel themselves.
Yeah.
And there's it's like a Venn diagram, and there is the commonality in the middle, but it's like people who love to cook love to eat. People who love to eat don't necessarily love to cook.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I have one of my daughters, she loves food, but it's really meant to be her fuel. Whereas my other daughter, it's like, this is an occasion.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. Yeah. How you probably go out to dinner and one's done and the other one's still.
Well, they're not eating fast per se. And I used to eat fast, but I think it's something you have to train yourself to do. I think it might even be, when you grew up and what era you grew up.
Right.
Because maybe you were rushing because the show was on TV and you couldn't record it because it was only going to play, like
or you just type A and you want to go do other shit.
Right, exactly. Or, in my world, it's like I wake up, I go work out, then I jump on my computer. Next thing I know, it's 10:30. I haven't eaten anything yet in the morning, and I'm starting to get hungry. But now, do I really want to eat, or am I going to wait till lunch? And so you just kind of, I don't know. I let it tell me when I'm ready to eat.
What gives you a bigger rush, working out or being in the kitchen?
Ooh, not been asked that question before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could answer that.
That's okay. There's no wrong answer.
Well, let's look at it this way. I have to work out pretty much every day.
Same.
Otherwise, cuckoo, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at that point. I don't have to cook every day. I don't have to be in the kitchen every day. I do need to eat every day, but I don't need to be in the kitchen to maintain my mental health.
Yeah. So before we get into all the different things that you offer and that you have at Laura's Gourmet, let's just talk about granola just to start with. And obviously you work out, you take great care of yourself, and you probably have a mantra for that because it's important to be able to be mentally and physically, available for everybody that's bombarding you, right?
From all angles.
From all angles. And so you're making a granola, a product that is, relatively healthy, unless probably eaten way too much of, because it's
like anything
else. So how do you balance your personal, and you may not even have this problem like sweet tooth and, just, do you ever go down that road where you're just like uncontrollably hungry for that sort of stuff?
I go to salt.
Okay.
So I like the occasional dessert. I'm really more of a cookie person. I'd rather have a cookie than a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, so I read a really good, this is great. It's like people are at a business meeting and there's a bowl of M&Ms and a bowl of pretzels on the table.
Oh.
And of the people in the meeting, like 3/4 will fixate on those bowls. The other quarter could care less if there's anything on the table at all. And then of those 3/4 who are fixated, about half of them are fixated on the chocolate and the other half is fixated on the salt. And they could care less about the other. And I'd be the one looking at those pretzels like, when can I have one?
Really?
Even if I'm not hungry, if I see something salty, I want to have it. Yeah. So dessert, I'm not, I'd rather have the hors d'oeuvres and the appetizers any day than a dessert at the end. So but I'm human, there's, and I know that when I'm stressed, like super stressed, then I'm looking for, and I'm probably tired, which is why I'm looking for a carbohydrate.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's going to fuel.
That makes all the sense in the world. So Laura's Gourmet, how did that start, and what was the beginning?
So I call it my happy accident. I was playing with a recipe for granola. Actually, it was in a magazine, this recipe, and I made it as it was in the magazine. Because when I was in college, I would study for finals and have a box of a now competitor granola on my desk.
Yeah.
And I would just eat it out of the box while I was studying. And I loved it. But I also looked at how much fat and sugar was in that, and I remembered. And so I saw this recipe. I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I liked granola. Let me make that. It had butter in the recipe, which I don't eat. Butter's not my friend. It had white sugar. It had some other things. And and it tasted good, but it could have been better. And for whatever reason, granola gods, I don't know, I kept playing with the recipe, tried different vanillas, different oils, different sugars, what have you. And finally, this flavor right here, vanilla almond crunch, which originally was called, what was it called? It was called cinnamon almond crunch or something like that. Anyway, it was born, right? And I made this recipe, and every time I made it, I would share it with people. Yeah. Because like when you go back to that cookie I keep talking about, I'm going to want a cookie after this.
I know.
And so will you, and you'll be like hating me. So, you have more than you want when you bake, and you share.
Right.
And so I would bring it to my daughter's soccer matches, or I would bring it to my personal trainer. And it got to this point where people were asking for it. My trainer's like, oh, I'll train you with, you can just give me a pound of that granola and we'll call it even. I'm like, well, that's solid gold. And people were asking if I could have a bulk bit so that they could package it up and they could put it in little gift baskets. And so my best friend, Kathlena, said, you really should think about selling this. And so I was in the early phases of starting up Celebrated Cuisine. And I decided, well, if I'm a chef and I am doing these high-end things, I should only focus on high-end grocers. So I stalked the hallways of AJ's and looked at packaging and whatnot. And I bought my first 100 bags so I could package it in a bag, and I was panicked, and I'm talking to this lady. I'm like, well, can I just buy one? She's like, no, you have to buy 100. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with 99 bags? And she's like, oh, honey, you'll figure it out. And now, we package, 1,000 pounds or 1,000 bags in an hour. Right?
Yeah,
it's really funny. But I try to get onto AJ's shelf, and I did all the things I was told to do by talking to the stores, and I really wasn't getting anywhere. And then I fortuitously ran into Eddie Basha at a store that they were converting to an AJ's. And I introduced myself. I have this habit this is probably the entrepreneurial side, but when I see the human that can make the difference and they're standing in front of me, even though I've never met them, I will happily just walk up and I don't think about it. It's like I have an out-of-body experience and just walk up to them, tell them who I am, what I'm trying to do. And what's amazing is that people want to help. Always.
You just got to ask.
You just got to ask. And he was very gracious and even said, I will give your information to my team, and and this is a quote, I will tell them you put the screws to me. And I looked at him and I said, well, didn't you put the screws to people when you first started? He said, absolutely. And I'm like, great. And 10 days later, I got a call from the buyer who is still my buyer to this day.
Wow.
Almost 20, what year is this? 2000. 22 years.
22 years.
22 years. We've been on the shelf with AJ's.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I would assume that was your first shelf.
It was my first shelf, and I had one product, just vanilla almond, and it just sat there all happy, right, in a really ugly bag.
Yeah.
And but people bought it, and then they came back and said, well, we need another facing. And I said, I don't know what that means. They said, well, we need another SKU. I'm like, keep working. And they said, we need another flavor. I said, could have started there. And so I created pumpkin pecan because it was fall. And then they put that on the shelf. You're getting
stores that you don't even know store language at this point. You're just...
It wasn't an intention at all. I'm learning as I go, literally. And when I look now at what it takes to get on a store shelf,
oh gosh,
I'm so grateful, right? I mean, and each of these retailers that we've gotten into all the way up till about 2015, were all because I met somebody who made an introduction, or I got a phone call from that store saying we had your product from AJ's. And the same was true for us moving into food service and supplying, 25-pound bulk boxes to restaurants, hotels, sports, you name it, nationally, right? It was all a request from one chef at one chain that grew into Fox Restaurant Concepts. And I'm like, sure, I can do that. Why can't we? It was about not saying no.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how it started. And for whatever reason, again, happy accident, like I would eat something in a trail mix and I'm like, ooh, and I'd single out an ingredient in the trail mix. And I'm like, that would make a good granola. And then our Appalicious was born. And then the same, and then I had experience with cherries and then with coconut. And I had a mentor at this time who was telling me no more flavors. Don't make any more flavors. You need to capitalize on what you want. And I had coconut granola that I had just made.
Yeah.
And I said, but this is going to be a good flavor. He said, I don't think you should do it. I'm like, well, I'm doing it, right? And I launched that in 2014.
Okay.
Which was our 10-year anniversary at AJ. So I did it at their stores. That flavor has become one of our top 3 SKUs in food service. It's the flavor served on United Airlines on their Hawaii flights. and it's served in acai shops around the country to go with the acai bowls and everything. So I'm really grateful I didn't listen to someone who was mentoring me, although he was amazing. So, anyway. So
but you went with your gut. And
you went
out
with your
there,
gut.
Yeah. And what you had.
That's gotten me into trouble too. There's something on this table where I went with my gut and I chose wrong. So we released a product. There's so many backstories to this, but we'll skip those because you don't have 5 days. But I released a line of savory toppers to go on salads and soups, your toasts, et cetera. And for food service, it's fine. It comes in a brown box, right? Well, I created this beautiful packaging with all these words and everything on it. And it's a category disruptor, meaning if you hand it to a retailer, they don't know where to put it in the store because it doesn't match something they already have.
Right.
And so we hear toppers, but those are croutons or bacon bits or fruit and nut blends. But this is grains that are combined with seasonings and inclusions and whatnot. And it's in this beautiful box and there's 4 flavors and they're each in a different color. And they're like, I don't know what to do. So we're going through a repack exercise now to make it approachable and understandable to the consumer. I have to sit on my chef hands.
And that's what you're going through now.
That's what I'm going through now.
So 20-something years into the business, you're still figuring things out.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And anyone who suggests that they have it all, they got it down, they're lying to you. There's no way. And the rules keep changing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
I'm sure. And I mean, talk about like all the hoops that you probably have to jump through, rightfully so, just for like food safety and all those other.
Oh, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we want to know, it's one thing to know where your food is coming from. You also want to know that it's been handled properly.
Correct.
And so we have to subscribe to every single FDA thing, we were inspected by everybody. I feel like we have a revolving door for inspectors to come in and out.
Because you have a physical facility in Tempe.
We have a facility here, and we do operations in Texas as well.
Okay.
And so, everything is certified gluten-free, certified kosher non-dairy, PARV, certified, for certified food safety, SQF, which is safe quality food. Simple statement, but it's so intimidating when you see it. And these require people who manage this every single day. And it's not just the outcome, it's every ingredient that goes into that bag has to have all of those approvals as well.
So everything that you're getting from somebody else have to have those approvals for you to make the final product.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes being a chef so much fun. So, before I threw in the towel, I hired my chief operating officer, Sonia Weaver, who will be with me for almost 3 years now. And she took a lot of that off my plate, not even proverbially speaking. Right. And it's been amazing because that's given me the ability to get back into being an entrepreneur and being creative and creating new products, which is my happy place, and then talking about those products. And so in addition to our food line, we have our hardware now for the kitchen.
Yeah.
So
pull
anyway,
it up. Yeah.
So.
Let's look at it. Yeah, this is cool. And describe what this does and for those of you listening, she's got this, I don't know, what would you call this?
This is CounterCool. So basically I took a conventional speed rack.
But like what's this fabric or
aluminum
material? So it's an aluminum
speed rack. So what I did was took the conventional speed rack and I reduced it in size. So it supports half sheet trays specifically or quarter sheet size sheet trays.
Yeah.
And it sits on a counter or a workspace.
Right.
But more importantly, it's extremely lightweight. It weighs actually under 5 pounds. And it has collapsible hinging technologies, or technology if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So you can easily open and close it on the fly.
Look at that.
Doesn't require any special hardware to do that. And so you can take it with you if you're a mobile chef, if you want something at point of sale, if you're working at home in your kitchen because you love to bake, then this fits perfectly on your counter, and it's designed to sit under your upper cabinets. We have clips now, so you can stack one on top of the other.
Yeah.
And then I'm working on right now, this is the final prototype. This is an accessory shelf. Okay, we call it Cool Caddy. And
Goes on the side there.
Put it on the side, so you can have your squeeze bottles, your spices, exactly. So you have everything you need, and you have a workstation.
Yeah.
And so we have been selling this now since June of 25,
That's cool.
and it's starting to really rock. Like
That's really cool.
Really, really rock.
Yeah. And I mean, this is something, again, back to the entrepreneurial spirit. You obviously have a successful business already running, but it's like, hey, what else can I do?
Well, and this was not a passion project. I don't even like that phrase, but this was a need for me as a private chef. I really, when I would get on site to do a party, I didn't have all my kitchen tools with me.
No.
I didn't have the actual speed rack, which weighs well over 70 pounds.
Yeah.
It's got dirty wheels because it runs around the kitchen all
Right.
day.
It's all gross.
I didn't have what I needed to do space management.
Yeah.
And this CounterCool created that. So as soon as I had the first prototype, I was still actively doing private events.
Yeah.
And I would bring this in. Oh my God, what a difference it made. It was amazing.
That's
and
cool.
So, and it's what's cool now is that I get to hear feedback from people who have bought them. And my favorite is, I feel like you invented it just for me.
Yeah, and it's so creative yet so simplistic, and I think those are the best inventions ever, right?
Yeah.
And that you have a patent on that, right?
Patent pending.
Patent pending. Yeah.
Yep. Lots of IP at Laura's Gourmet. We got trademarks. We got patents.
Brilliant.
We got design patents. Yeah, you name it.
I love all that. I want to talk about the process of making granola, because for me personally, like I just look at it and I'm like, oh, this stuff just kind of comes like this.
Yeah, the Keebler elves are really good at that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what exactly is granola, and how is it, kind of made?
So granola, by its definition, is comprised of oats, and I put emphasis on that.
Yep.
And then it might have sugar, it have some type of a fat in it, and then fruit or nuts or neither, and then some type of flavor agent, so you just don't feel like you're eating oats.
Right.
It's a very simple process. You just mix everything together and you bake it. So
Okay.
there's no rocket science there. You can look at any granola recipe and they're essentially the same. It's the recipe itself that's going to make a difference.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to emphasize the oat thing because if there aren't oats, if you're going grain-free, which is great, and you're buying a grain-free granola, you're essentially buying a glorified trail mix because that's what it's fruit and nuts then.
Yeah.
And, and maybe some, some protein coming from somewhere, depending on how you eat.
Right.
So we make a classic granola. It's a chef-driven product. The recipe we use for vanilla almond is identical from the very first time I started selling it.
That's cool.
We only have 10 or fewer simple ingredients in any of our granolas, and you can read every word on the label. It's not meant to be a testament to somebody's reading skills, but it's more, I don't put anything in there that's weird. Like you could read my ingredients, go to the grocery store and easily find any of those things.
Yeah.
But then your challenge is, of course, making it like we make it, right?
Right.
So, which gratefully people are happy to let us do for them. So
Yeah, and you don't have like benzoate sodium or whatever.
no,
any of that
we're a
crap in
natural
it.
product.
Yeah. No, which is awesome. What is this canister here?
So that is our savory toppers, the one that I put
gotcha.
into the,
Okay.
it's sealed shut, it's tamper-proof
No.
because, SQS.
They don't want children playing
Yeah.
with it on the podcast.
But so
that's cool packaging. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really funny. But if you put it in the store shelf, people will they walk by because
They're like, what is it?
there's no
Candles?
call out. I know.
Yeah.
So, and they kept putting it in the spice section. I'm like, it's not a spice,
Right.
And so, but that's a combination of oats and we just reformulated it. So we use a steel cut oat, a different oat than in our granola. And then it has millet and quinoa, flaxseed. These are all things that are good for you.
Yeah,
They
that's
provide
great.
protein, they provide fiber, and you only need a tablespoon. and you just sprinkle it over your salad or on your avocado toast. And it gives you crunch where crunch is missing, plus additional levels of flavor. Because when we eat, when we chew, like first of all, chewing is important. If you drink smoothies every morning, you still want to eat something. It's just what our bodies do. And so when we have that crunch, then that's another signal to our brain that we're getting the satisfaction that we need when we eat.
Something about the crunch. I was just talking about that the other day or watching like videos on YouTube. And I'm like, here's the thing. Like I like to be shredded, right? And somebody that is shredded can't eat crunchy things unless they're carrots or jicama. And I'm just like, oh my God. I would really love to eat a whole bag of plantain chips, but that will just screw my carb load for the whole week,
right?
You know? And it's like they're plantains for God's sakes, you know? Right. So I'm always looking for these. So I found pork rinds.
Okay. Okay, keto man.
I know, right? Because it's all protein, but I get the crunch.
And fat.
Well, not a lot of fat in these, only 2.5.
Are they kosher certified?
I don't know.
It's of course they're not. They're pork. I know what they are. I'm just kidding.
You know but the point being is, you're right. The crunch is so important.
Right.
It brings this mechanism to the brain that tells you that you're satisfying yourself.
Well, and you're only going to get about 5 grams of carb in a serving of our toppers.
Yeah.
But you're also getting 3 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber.
Yeah.
In that 1 tablespoon.
Which is great. I'm sure those probably help you take crap in the morning too, because you're putting it on your salad and giving you the fiber. Right?
Haven't done that deep dive, but go for it. Yeah, and by the same token, in what you just said, our clusters, what distinguishes our clusters from what's out there is we use a soluble maize fiber to make them bind together.
Got it.
We're not adding sugar. We're not adding fat. And so they cluster, and as a result, every ounce serving, because we suggest 1 ounce, which is like 2 or 3 pieces, is an excellent source of fiber. It gives you 6 grams of fiber.
That's great.
Which is really great because you're doing it in a way where if you like sweet salty, you get that, and then you're getting that fiber, you're getting a little protein, and you only need a few. You don't need, it's like I find that there's more portion control capability of people when they're eating clusters as opposed to granola, because like I'm a straight shooter, so I'll just toss it back. But with the clusters, few are good, and then you're good.
That's what I did with your bag that you gave me. I poured that whole damn thing into my smoothie, and I just ate the whole thing.
What flavor did I give you?
So good. Vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. Okay, that's awesome.
Well, I brought you the sea salted chocolate chip cluster.
I know, that looks really good.
I thought I'd really push you over the edge.
I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
What other flavors do you have? So you have sea salted chocolate chip granola.
In the clusters, sea salted chocolate chip, vanilla cookie. We have a coconut white chocolate.
Wow.
And then we have a honey roasted peanut. And we have, during Christmas, we have a hot chocolate peppermint. So those are our clusters. And then on granola, vanilla almond. Then we did a pumpkin pecan, honey roasted peanut, Appalicious, cherry-rific, sinful cinnamon, coconut, and blueberry bliss, which we released in 2020, hence the word bliss. And then there was dark chocolate crunch.
Your business coach is shaking their head right now.
Yeah, no, but
that's great.
It's cool because it where you can't roll the dice.
Yeah,
is because we do food service and retail both, right?
Right.
What's popular in food service doesn't track to retail.
No.
And so there's a reason for everything. And our dark chocolate crunch, just side note. First of all, we make it with pepitas, so you get a little bit of that nuttiness.
Yep.
But it's a vegan product. We use a vegan chocolate. So we're super inclusive on our flavors. We want to make sure there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
But I also use a little bit of chipotle so you get some heat, but it also lifts the flavor of the chocolate. And if you eat a bowl of it in your choice of milk, then you kind of get that nostalgic chocolate milk.
Oh yeah.
At the bottom when you're done, it's so good. It bakes really well. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so people that want to go and purchase just like these bags, where would they go?
In Arizona, you would go to AJ's. You would go to Whole Foods.
Okay.
You'd go to Queen Creek Olive Mill, Duck and Decanter. A lot of independents around. And if you want to enjoy it on a menu, then most of the major resorts, most of the breakfast restaurants, coffee drive-thrus. I mean, a lot of them are using our products in their
Congrats
parfaits.
to you. That's huge. And it's funny because most people probably don't even, when they're going to these restaurants, even know that it's your stuff.
No, unless they brand you on the menu, which is always nice, right?
Yeah.
So side story, God, this goes back at least 12 years maybe. one of my friends from growing up, we went to the same summer camp together, and we stayed in touch all the way through, basically through college. And then after that, somewhere along the line, we kind of lost touch a little bit, but we were connected on LinkedIn, of all things.
Yeah.
And so one day I'm in my Celebrated Cuisine kitchen, and I get this LinkedIn message from my friend saying, I'm at the Phoenician. I think I'm eating your granola. I'm in town because she lives in Cape Cod. And so I immediately messaged her back on the most laborious platform for messaging you could ask for. And I said, if you're in town, I need to see you, right? But literally my granola brought us back together. I mean, she owns a bakery. We had such parallel lives. It's been really fun, but just to look back on that. But it was because they branded us on the menu. It was their room service and said Laura's Gourmet Granola. And so she
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, it's kind of cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. And then besides airplanes, where else do you have your stuff?
Oh, around the country?
Yeah.
So we supply a lot of major hotel chains.
Okay.
We do professional sports teams.
Yep.
We have airports themselves.
Wow.
So like one of the airlines uses us as a food service, so you don't know it's us, but we're on the if you're in first class or business, which tracks. Where else? A lot of healthcare, hospitals, schools, universities. Every day, I look at the orders that come through and where they're going, and I'm delighted when I see that, because we're touching places I never even thought about selling my product into.
How did they find you? Were you the sales team? Were you the person that started getting this out there initially?
Well, initially 100%, but we also are part of a lot of different platforms and portals. And so if a restaurant owner in Maine is looking for a granola and he doesn't want what's available locally, and he buys from Cisco, right? He'll go to the Cisco platform, and if he puts in granola, we show up. And then people like our attributes, right? So it's simple, it's flavorful, it's chef-driven. And I think that's why we're picked by a lot of chefs, is because for a restaurant to make it themselves, it becomes a lift, right? You're ordering ingredients that you may not use in a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So there's a cost to it. You have a different person potentially making it every day. And so there's a quality control issue. And there's also how much you need to make. And so now you have a labor thing, right? So we answer those questions. We check those boxes, and you can buy it. You can put our case in the freezer if you want and just pull it as needed. So we've really, and because the quality is what it is, in Arizona alone, most of the most amazing chefs here they're on the Laura's Gourmet train.
I love it.
Yeah.
Is there ever a time where you've run out of inventory because people ordered so much?
No, we're good at demand planning. Although there have been a few times when we've onboarded with the new platform, I'm like, oh, we're going to go live on their platform, and it's going to be like a heyday, right? And so I'll have them build up all this inventory, and then we go live on the platform, and one order comes in.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that was good. So, but you learn as you go, right?
For sure.
So yeah. And it's okay to be out of stock every once in a while. But we don't want to ever do that. We want to be able to supply.
Before we get into rapid fire, where obviously people can go online and they can order through online store as well, right?
Did I not mention that? I didn't mention that.
Not.
So see, self-promotion, not so shameless, it's bad. So yes, laurasgourmet.com. You can find us there. You can find us on Amazon for our granolas only. Well, the toppers are still on there. We just did a complete reset on Amazon.
Did you? Okay.
Those are your two main platforms that are sanctioned.
Okay,
to buy
that are good to buy. Yeah. And then as far as you personally, just being you have woman owned on here, which I think is great, something obviously to be very proud of. You're a busy entrepreneur. You've started something from scratch 20 plus years ago. You're all over the place doing your thing. What do you do for yourself on a daily basis? What's your non-negotiable I know working out obviously, but what else besides that do you have to really do in order to collect yourself?
I have to do my New York Times games.
Okay.
So that, have to keep your streaks. So, which connects me to my daughters who don't live in state. So we share our results. And so we, it's TMI, I'm sure, but we include little emojis that describe what our day is going to be like, right? So that's important. Spending time with my friends or my husband, if, however that rolls out in a given day.
Yeah.
I like to read before I go to bed.
Nice.
Nothing to do with any industry. It's all just fiction.
Whatever.
Because I can disconnect. So those are probably the things that keep me, glass of wine.
Yeah.
Sane. But it's funny. It's like if I don't have a really, really like run around day, then being in the kitchen is part of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I would assume you're an early riser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a 3:30.
I'm not that early. Yeah. Back in the day, I could have said that, but
My wife
No.
is so mad at me half the time.
somewhere between 5 and 5:30 is fine.
Yeah.
I'm older now. I have to give myself some grace.
Well, I go to bed at 8 though.
Yeah, I go to bed by 9. Usually, I try.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else though? And this is also maybe as I've gotten older, I just had this conversation with my husband today. I have learned to say no more,
Yes.
and that's saying yes to yourself. And also that means saying no to people who you've had as friendships for a long time, which aren't good for you.
Right.
And ripping off that Band-Aid can be one of the most liberating things you'll ever do.
Not everybody is rooting for your success, and it's not that they're against it. It's just it's a different. You're going down a different path than what it is that they would desire for you to go on because you're not doing the same things as them anymore.
Yeah, but but their opinion doesn't count. Right?
No, it doesn't.
Not for me.
And
anyway.
that's what's great.
Yeah, and so for me, it's like I want to lead with love. The people who work with me, I don't even like saying for me, but they work for me. But
Right.
these are great people. They're excited. They're passionate. They're smart. They're connected.
Yeah.
And you can't say more than having that in a business environment, right?
Yeah.
And so I've just learned I don't have the bandwidth anymore for somebody's shenanigans.
No, I'm with you. Cheers to that.
Shenanigan free.
All right, rapid fire. You ready?
I guess so.
Okay. U2 or Bon Jovi?
Oh, Bon Jovi.
Okay. What was your favorite record?
Oh, I don't know the names of any albums. I'm really bad at that.
God,
I know I know John Bon Jovi
just
though.
like
It's
my
John.
wife. SUV or sports car?
SUV.
Trade show or retail visits?
Define retail visit. Like going to see the retailer? Retailer.
Okay. ET or airplane?
Oh, that's a tough one. We were talking about airplane last weekend. It doesn't track like it used to.
Right.
But I kind of got to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
a little slapstick goes a long way.
it really does. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So many good movies.
Any
have it.
comedy. Love all comedy.
Yeah. We're in that same generation.
Make me laugh.
What's your favorite way to eat your own granola that isn't in a bowl of milk?
Oh, no, it's always a straight shot. I literally put in a portion cup and right back.
Just shoot it up.
Yep.
Nice.
Straight shooter.
You should have a granola bar. People just come in and shoot granola
Oh,
shots.
a granola bar.
Right.
Legit.
Yeah, totally. What granola flavor do you reach for when nobody's watching?
Appalicious or honey roasted peanut.
Okay. And what's the most surprising place that you've spotted your granola?
Oh, good question. That I've spotted? Well, I would know everywhere it lands.
You would
pretty
hope
much.
so, right?
Well, no, actually, okay, I didn't spot it, but a friend took a picture and sent it to me, and it was in an independent store in California that I had never even heard of.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't know you were sold here. I'm like, makes two.
Me too.
I had
right?
no idea. Yeah, so that was a little crazy.
Had you ever gotten on a plane going to Hawaii and got your stuff served to you?
No, that's on United, and I haven't been to Hawaii in a long time.
I've never been, so.
But I will say I was at the airport in Phoenix,
Yeah.
and I picked up my daughter, and my other daughter was flying in, and daughter one was hungry, so we went to Chelsea's Kitchen,
Oh,
and it was early, so she ordered a granola parfait,
yeah.
and it was my granola on there.
Oh, that's funny.
And I did not expect that. And I looked, I go, I think that's mine. She takes a bite. She's like, yep.
The taste test did it all. That's funny. If you weren't doing food at all, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Am I working in this scenario?
No, you don't have to.
I mean, what I'm finding more and more that brings me joy is coaching and mentoring people coming up in this industry.
Yeah.
So I would probably do a lot of that. And I'd also be doing a lot longer workouts and a lot more hiking and trail running
Love it.
and a lot of other places besides just here in Arizona, which is abundant, but
Yeah.
there's so many places I haven't been yet that I want to do that.
Trail running. I did that for like 2 decades. I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Mother's Day, I do my annual South Mountain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I have to do at least 7 or 9 miles, but by myself.
Yeah.
Just
out there.
But it's gonna be hot this year. I got to get out there really early.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 100 this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
70 when I wake up. So
yeah,
I gotta
be careful.
I know. Snakes just need to stay. in
Stay
their
away,
little
snakes.
Snake cave.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we cut this off?
The only thing I want to say is that I've my entire professional career has been here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade that for anything. I just think we have an amazing. I've loved watching our food scene grow and evolve and change and become what it's become, and what it's attracted into our state. And being based in Tempe for 22 years has been it's been 24 to what are we 20? Yeah, 22. 22 years. How can I even say 22 years?
Yeah.
I feel like I started yesterday.
I know.
So yeah, it's I get to meet people like you. It's like
Here we are, right? Yeah.
that's part of the chef thing too. It's like I got to meet people I never would have met if I weren't in that role.
It's a great scene here.
Yeah, it is.
And you and I met through a local first Zoom, and they do such a great job bringing a lot of those local, chefs and entrepreneurs and restaurant owners together.
And supporting them. 1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000%. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you for driving down here a second time. And this is great. So please, everybody, if you get a chance, go online. Go. This stuff's like crack. You'll probably get addicted.
Good crack.
I'm just saying, it's
Safe
the
crack.
good crack. Yeah, not the stuff you find at Harlem or wherever. But thank you for listening. Please give it a 5-star, subscribe, share it with your friends. Maybe even share this with some restaurant owners or some chefs that might want,
CounterCool.
Exactly. Cool little CounterCool.
Can lift it with a
or
thumb.
might want some granola to put, in their parfaits or any of their salads. I love granola and salad too. It's
Really
actually
good.
really good.
Yes.
So, and that's it. I mean, of course, the podcast is sponsored by myself, Bar and Restaurant Insurance. So if you're looking for insurance, I think I've been doing it a while. I can take care of you. But until then, and until next time, thank you and peace out.